Search and rescue efforts are indeed getting underway today, even as Hurricane Ian continues to pound the state of Florida and make its way east. Take a look at these pictures out of Naples. They show power lines sparking into flames as they're downed by fierce winds and rains overnight. The result overall in that state is more than 2 million people waking up this morning without power. President Biden will be heading to FEMA headquarters today to be briefed on the impacts of Hurricane Ian. And we are joined now by FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell from their headquarters in Washington, D.C. Administrator Criswell, since you're going to be briefing the president later today, I am very curious. What will you be telling him about the effects of this historic storm on the state of Florida?
Yeah, good morning. The reports that we are getting so far this morning are that there are definitely catastrophic impacts. People that have been in the path of this storm are seeing devastating effects to them and their homes. And so we are very focused today. Our number one priority is saving lives. And we had put together a large search and rescue capability. They've been out since 4 o'clock this morning, looking at areas, knowing that people may be trapped, so we can get in there and get as many people to safety as we can.
Yeah, Administrator Criswell, that Florida has a very large elderly population. We hear reports of people that can't get in touch with relatives. What's being done to assist them in particular?
Yeah, we know, and we knew that there would be power outages, there would be cell phone outages, there would be other types of outages, and so people can call if they can call, and we're taking that information and prioritizing, but we don't need to wait for that. The teams know what the areas are, they're getting direction from the local officials, and they're going to search all of the areas that have had the hardest impact first to make sure nobody's trapped and we can get people to safety.
You say they should call. Where should they be calling?
Oh, if people are trapped and they have phone service, they should call 911. But if people can't call, know that we've got people out there. They're going to be looking for them. They know where to go. We are going to make sure we cover every square inch of area that's been impacted to make sure nobody needs assistance.
Administrator, what is your message to those who did not evacuate and those who no longer can, essentially just stuck where they are?
Yeah, if you have a life-threatening emergency, absolutely, you should try to call 911 if you have that ability. If you don't, water is still dangerous, right? People need to be very careful. There is a lot of water in the area. It has debris. It has hazardous chemicals. There could be down power lines. People need to take extra care. I would say what we see often is that we have an increase in the number of indirect fatalities after a storm because there's so many hazards that are out there. People need to stay vigilant.
Yeah. Is this storm more challenging than others in the past? I would imagine so. We keep hearing it being called the storm of the century.
All storms bring their own unique challenges, absolutely. But when you have a storm like this that had Category 4 winds, you have large population areas, but also this intense storm surge and the increased amount of rainfall, and it stayed, right? It moved very slowly. It's still in Florida. We're starting and still seeing impacts on the East Coast. This is going to leave a large path of destruction. We put together the right team to make sure we could go in there right away. We're already starting our recovery planning process so we can get these communities on their road to recovery as soon as possible.
Yeah, Administrator, the last time a storm like this hit that part of the country was 100 years ago. There were only hundreds of thousands of people. Now there are millions, a lot of property damage.
Yeah.
Are you going to have the funding after a storm like this to keep on doing what you need to do to help people prepare before, during, and then after storms? Do you have the money and the resources going forward?
We absolutely have the money and the resources to keep moving forward with the response phase that we have right now. As we get a better idea and understanding of what the recovery costs are going to be, we'll continue to work with Congress if there's additional needs.
FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.